What does it really mean to be chosen? People talk about being special as if it's all about recognition and reward, but the truth is much deeper and far more isolating. The reality is, chosen ones often walk a path marked by solitude, not because they aren't surrounded by people, but because few can truly understand their journey. When you carry a powerful presence, a certain light, it doesn't just attract admiration, it also stirs discomfort in those not ready to embrace their own potential. There's a price to being special, and it's one that few talk about. This is the journey of those who walk between the light and darkness, constantly balancing the desire to connect with the need to protect their energy. But here's the question: how do you navigate this path without losing yourself in the process? When someone starts realizing their true potential, it's almost like a ripple in still water. It shakes things up around them. Others sense that energy, and it can make them uneasy, even if they don't fully understand why. Sometimes it's not about jealousy, but more about the discomfort of seeing someone thrive where they feel stagnant. Think about that one person at work who seems to effortlessly excel. It's not always envy that stirs up resistance, but the reminder of what others aren't doing with their own lives. This disturbance isn't just a personal matter. It echoes in social circles. When one person begins to shine, it highlights the shadow of unfulfilled potential in others. You might have experienced this in friendships where, out of nowhere, the vibe shifts when you start progressing. It's not because you've changed negatively, but because your growth stands as a stark contrast to their inner hesitation. The light you carry becomes a mirror, reflecting back what others haven't yet faced. That's where the real friction starts. But this discomfort others feel, it's not always malicious. Sometimes it's a wake-up call for them to explore their own paths. However, not everyone is ready to confront their unacknowledged dreams, and that's when hostility kicks in. The more you lean into your potential, the more you might feel others pulling away. It's like being a lighthouse. Your light cuts through the fog, but the ships struggling to find their way aren't always grateful for the guidance. Have you ever noticed how some people just have this magnetic energy when they walk into a room? It's like they don't even have to say a word, but their very presence speaks volumes. That's the aura of presence many chosen ones carry, and it's something that can inspire admiration or resentment. People pick up on it without even knowing why. It's that undeniable sense of self, of spiritual awakening that can't be faked. But here's the thing. While some are drawn to that light, others feel exposed by it, almost like it challenges their insecurities. For those who feel disconnected from their own potential, being around someone with this kind of presence can be tough. It's not that they dislike the person, but rather what that person represents, a path they haven't yet walked. That glow, that aura, stirs something inside them, and it's not always positive. Ever noticed how sometimes the ones who seem the most confident or put together receive the most silent judgment? That's often where this comes from. It's easier to resent someone's light than to look inward and question your own shadows. But this aura doesn't just intimidate, it also inspires. Some might feel insecure, sure, but others will be drawn to that energy because it shows them what's possible. It's a living, breathing example of what someone can become when they align with their inner self. And this is where you come in. When you recognize that your presence alone impacts others, you can decide how to navigate the reactions. Sometimes, just knowing how your aura affects others can help you handle those mixed responses with grace. Resilience is one of those qualities that looks admirable from the outside. But when you're up close, it can stir up all kinds of feelings in others. People admire strength, but only as long as it doesn't remind them of their own struggles. Chosen ones often develop this inner resilience because they've faced adversity head-on, time and time again. But here's the catch. The stronger you become, the more others who feel stuck in their own challenges might resent you for it. It's not your success that bothers them. It's the contrast to their own stagnation. Think about it this way. When you bounce back from hardship, whether it's in your career, relationships, or personal growth, it shines a spotlight on how others might be stuck. And let's be real, nobody likes feeling stuck. Have you ever shared a win with someone only to sense a strange tension afterward? That's the quiet resentment creeping in, as they compare their journey to yours. This isn't because they're bad people. It's a natural response to seeing someone thrive where they've struggled. The resilience you build through hardship becomes a reminder of their perceived limitations. But don't let that resentment dull your light. Your resilience is proof that growth is possible no matter the odds. Instead of letting others' negative energy affect you, focus on continuing to rise above the challenges. You can even use it as an opportunity to lift others up, showing them that it's possible to overcome obstacles rather than becoming weighed down by them. And remember, not everyone resents resilience. Some people will look to you as living proof that they too can rise. Here's the thing about chosen ones. They don't just live their lives, they reflect back the inner realities of those around them. This is what we call the mirror effect. When people look at you, they don't just see you, they see their own unresolved conflicts, their insecurities, and the dreams they've abandoned. It's a subconscious reaction, but it's powerful. Your very existence forces them to confront things about themselves they might not be ready to face. And that discomfort often shows up as hostility or avoidance. For example, have you ever noticed how some people seem to get unusually irritated by your success, even when it doesn't directly affect them? It's not that you've done anything wrong, it's that your presence reflects their untapped potential. The mirror effect works like this. When you live authentically, with purpose and direction, it shines a light on the areas where others may be lost. This reflection isn't always welcome because it requires introspection, and not everyone is ready to look that deeply into their own life. But here's where the magic happens. Once you understand this dynamic, you can navigate it with more compassion. Knowing that the hostility isn't really about you helps you detach from it emotionally. You can see their reactions for what they are, projections of their inner struggles. And while you can't change how others feel, you can continue to reflect positivity and growth, hoping that one day they'll look in the mirror and see the potential they've been ignoring all along. Being genuine is both a blessing and a challenge in today's world. When you walk through life with authenticity, you hold a mirror up to others, showing them what it looks like to live without pretense. But not everyone can handle that level of transparency. The chosen ones who are unapologetically themselves often face resistance, not because of what they do, but because of what they represent. Truth in a world where many hide behind masks. It's like offering people a window into their own lack of honesty, and that can sting. Authenticity, combined with kindness, is a powerful force. However, it can be misunderstood. Some people might perceive your kindness as weakness, while others might feel uncomfortable because it highlights the absence of those qualities in their own lives. It's like you're walking around with a glowing light, and while many will be drawn to its warmth, others will feel the coldness of their shadows in comparison. This is why, at times, those who are the most authentic and kind often find themselves on the receiving end of resentment or even hostility. But don't let this stop you from being who you are. Authenticity is a rare gift, and the world needs more of it. Your genuine nature may challenge others, but it's also a beacon for those looking to live more truthfully. And while it may feel tough to face the backlash, your kindness and authenticity are what set you apart. The key is to stay true to yourself while recognizing that not everyone will be ready to accept the reflection you offer. Keep walking the path of truth because it's the only one worth traveling. When you're walking in your purpose, negativity has a way of finding you, even if you've done nothing to deserve it. This isn't because you've done anything wrong, but because your light acts as a magnet for unhealed wounds in others. People often project their inner turmoil onto those who seem to have found clarity, peace, or purpose. It's easier to blame someone else for their discomfort than to look inward and address the root cause of their pain. As a chosen one, you may find yourself targeted simply because your presence disrupts their unresolved issues. You've probably experienced moments where people's criticism or hostility came out of nowhere, leaving you wondering, what did I do? The truth is, you didn't do anything specific to trigger them. it's their projected negativity at work. It's as if your purpose, your aura of presence, becomes a mirror they can't avoid. And when faced with this mirror, many people would rather lash out at you than face their own inner battles. This projected negativity isn't a reflection of your worth, but of their struggle to reconcile with themselves. The key to navigating this is understanding that it's not about you. When negativity is thrown your way, remember that it's their unresolved hurt that's driving it. Don't take it personally. Instead, maintain your purpose, and don't let their projected negativity pull you down. In fact, you can use these moments to strengthen your resolve, reminding yourself that their reactions are more about them than you. You're on a path of growth, and while not everyone will celebrate it, it's not your job to carry their burdens. There's a deeper layer to the way people react to you, and it's not always about what's happening in this lifetime. Implicit prejudice can stem from past life traumas, lurking beneath the surface of conscious awareness. You might have noticed that some people seem to dislike you without any clear reason. It's as if something about your presence triggers a reaction in them, and no amount of kindness or patience can shift it. This can be confusing, but it helps to understand that these reactions are often tied to karmic connections or unresolved issues carried from previous lives. For example, have you ever met someone for the first time and it felt like they already had an opinion about you, even though you hadn't exchanged more than a few words? That instant discomfort or unease might not be grounded in anything from this lifetime. Sometimes souls carry unresolved conflicts from past lives, and when they encounter you again in this life, those old tensions resurface. It's not always logical, and it's certainly not fair, but it's a reality that chosen ones often face as they cross paths with souls they've encountered before. So, what can you do about it? First, recognize that not all prejudice is personal, and some of it runs deeper than this current experience. While you can't change the past, you can choose how you respond to it now. When you feel that invisible wall go up between you and someone else, understand that it's their past life wounds at play, not your actions. The best thing you can do is to move with compassion and grace, allowing the energy of healing to flow between you. After all, you're not just here to live your life, you're here to help heal old wounds too. The journey of a chosen one often feels like walking the line between light and darkness. When you choose to align with the light, to pursue your higher purpose, and embrace your spiritual awakening, it's not just an easy path of positivity. The more you step into the light, the more resistance you encounter from those who are still comfortable in the shadows. It's an inevitable contrast. Light reveals what's hidden in the dark. Not everyone is ready for that kind of exposure. This is where the friction comes in. Think about it. As you move forward in your spiritual growth, people around you start to feel the weight of their own unaddressed struggles. It's like walking into a room and flipping on the lights when others would prefer to stay in the dark. You didn't do anything wrong by shining, but suddenly there's resistance. People may even try to pull you back into old habits or challenge your growth because they're not yet ready to confront their own shadows. It's a natural reaction to the light. They either move towards it or shrink away from it. But here's the thing. Your alignment with the light doesn't just challenge others. It also attracts those who are searching for it. While some resist, others will be inspired by your journey, recognizing that you're walking a path they want to follow. This contrast of light and darkness becomes a filter of sorts, separating those who are ready to evolve from those who still need time. And as you continue to shine, you'll find that the right people, the ones who are ready to embrace the light, will naturally gravitate towards you, creating a circle of growth and transformation. Now that you understand the price of being special, how will you use this knowledge to navigate your own journey? The path of the chosen one is not an easy one, but it is filled with purpose. Are you ready to face the light and darkness? To stand tall even when others project their negativity onto you? Remember, your authenticity, resilience, and aura of presence are your greatest strengths. Don't let the challenges pull you away from who you are. Instead, embrace the role you're meant to play in this world. You've been given this journey for a reason. What will you do with it? If you're ready to dive deeper and continue growing, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Together, We'll explore the depths of this spiritual awakening and find the strength to thrive, even in the solitude of being chosen.